Day 3 of Top 10 Week is here. Well, technically it's day 4 because I missed yesterday, but that was my fault. I was finally cleaning up after Christmas. On a related note, if anyone would like a fruitcake, or at least I think it's a fruitcake, it does have green stuff on it. It's not wrapped, which is my own fault, but if you're interested in it, let me know and we'll figure something out. But that's not important. What is important is today, we are talking about the top 10 best Yu-Gi-Oh cards of 2016. And the thing is, 2016 had a lot of amazing cards, so this was not an easy list to do, not at all. At least last year I had an idea where I was going. I had no clue what to do for this one, so I came up with a list of the 10 cards that in my opinion were meta-defining. Now, many of you might debate that, and that is okay. It's why we have a comment section. But for now, I have chosen to pick these cards based on their impact on the meta, if they made a deck defining or not, or just, how strong they were and what they did for the game. And that is what we are here to talk about today, that list. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, the Phantom Knights of Breaksword. Hey everybody, want a rank 3 Diamond Direwolf? Yeah, I know. Want a rank 3 Diamond Direwolf that belongs to an archetype that if you actually blow up your own cards besides this one, you can go plus? Want a Diamond Direwolf that if you blow itself up, brings back the monsters if they were Phantom Knights, and makes them rank level 4, and lets you go into Dark Rebellion? Cosmo Tin Can. Cosmos have kind of fallen off the radar, but this was a very powerful deck, and I really put Tin Can at the forefront of this. I've made fun of this card in the past, but I genuinely do hate it. This card lets you dump other Cosmos in the grave. Many of you might be thinking that's a bad thing because Cosmos deal with going from hand to field and then to banish zone. But the thing is, since the deck played very few traps, there was a lot of space for cards like Call of the Haunted and Oasis of Dragon Souls. So what they would do is they would get one card there that you would pick, which is pointless because they're just going to Call of the Haunted and Oasis the other two back, which is insane because it essentially creates this annoying thing where the card made them go +3 because they had access to everything, field and grave, and because none of the Cosmos had summoning issues, you could just keep summoning and keep triggering effects and keep floating and keep going back and forth and then just make your opponent cry and wonder why on earth you had to deal with this. Hear me out. I know many of you probably want Monkey Board representing Pepe, but in my opinion, Pendulum Sorcerer is truly the strong card. Monkey Board is very powerful, and I did consider it, but Pendulum Sorcerer, let's think about this for a minute. It's a spellcaster, so it's got a lot of synergy with stuff, and the thing is, when you special summon it, you blow up 2 cards, but you never actually blow up anything that's going to be a problem for you. You just blow up your scales, send them back, and then get 2 more Performer Pals. This card allows you to go +4, which was my point with Tin Can. Now let's think about this. If the theory that Monkey Board was truly the thing in the deck was true, when Monkey Board went to 1, this deck should have died. No, Pepe was still a top tier deck until like August, and that is mostly due to the fact that you had this card. You had an amazing search capabilities, you had an amazing ceiling you could search for with it. Performer Pals are truly one of, in my opinion, the most annoying archetypes ever, and this card, in my opinion, is one of the big problems. Number 7, Union Hanger. I forgot unions existed up until ABCs came out. And many of you probably want Buster Dragon representing that deck. But the thing is Buster Dragon is very powerful, but as a fusion monster and as a fusion material needing 3 monsters, it can be very hard to get out. So what does Konami do? They make a field spell that can be searched out with terraforming. They make a field spell that not only gives you a Stratos effect to add the ABC pieces to your hand, but when you activate it, you get them straight from frickin' deck. You can make ABC Buster Dragon very easy. Do any of you know how annoying that is? Very. You get the point. I'm not gonna lie, when I first read this card, I thought it was powerful, but I never thought it was going to become what it is to this day. Yeah, it's cool, but level 2s, aquas, water monsters, frogs, no one cares. So what happened? The meta changed to suit this card. That is nuts. Like, think about it. Paleozoics, nobody cared. Then this card came out. Frogs, nobody cared. Then this card came out. Heroes, dead. Then this card came out. Ice barriers. Okay, nobody still cares about ice barriers. But have you ever faced ice barrier toads on DevPro? Freaking sucks. Just stop it, people. Just stop it. Hear me out. Many of you are thinking, what? No one cares about Dark Magicians. Well, Konami gave a lot of old stuff support, and most of it didn't make the deck interesting. Blue Eyes got support, but the Blue Eyes deck becoming top tier was more just because of circumstance. Like, everything was dead at the time, and Worlds was right around the corner. It was the only deck. Dark Magicians got this card, and they all of a sudden became a super powerful tier 2 deck. Why? Because when you combine it with the other things in the deck, like Navigation and a lot of the Dark Magician search cards, you can actually pull off an insanely consistent just banishing loop and play disruption. You can use the Eternal Soul on anyone's turn. It gets from hand to grave. It made Dark Magicians relevant. They never were. Like, this card, in my opinion, even though it might not have the power of Blue Eyes or the search of ABCs or anything else, this card made a deck, and it made that deck relevant enough to whenever anyone goes up against it at a YCS, they are worried because they know what it can do. And in my opinion, nothing else deserves to be more on this list than a card that can do that. Nebtabis, Mermails, the Kings of OTK. That's it, I'm done. Pantheism. Did anyone want Monarchs back in January? Did anyone? Well, this card did it. This is one of the most powerful draw cards ever for a cost that is virtually non-existent because the deck utilizes Monarch Spell and Traps in the Grave. You not only get to draw 2 cards, but then you can banish this card, add another Monarch, and if that card you add is Tenacity, you can search out again. This card it's one of the most broken draw cards ever invented in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it went to 1, I was happy. But still, thinking back to the first half of this year, honestly, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. Number 2 and number 1 are pretty interchangeable. Like, both of these cards are amazing and do a lot for the game, but I had to put Solemn Strike at 2 just because traps are very slow right now, and they're picking up due to recent format changes. But ultimately, I do feel Solemn Strike deserves the silver, but it does still deserve to be on this list. It's an amazing card that negates effects, it negates pendulum summons, any special summon, I think. But it's just a powerful card all around, and with that low life point cost, it really doesn't have a negative. If you don't have your Solemn Strikes already, even if you're not playing them right now, just for on the back burner, what's wrong with you? Shame on you. Stop watching the video. Go pick up Solemn Strike. Number 1, Twin Twister. Why this card, you might be thinking? Well, let's think about this for a minute. MST will never be power creeped, but this came pretty damn close. Like, the discard cost, who cares? For what you get is amazing. Anyone can set 2 cards and then you MST one and have to deal with the other. This card takes that away. Like, when your opponent, especially in the now format where people are just setting up back row, you blow the back row up and you can save yourself. Your opponent's playing pendulums. They set up their skill. If you time it right, Twin Twister will destroy their turn. Like, that's crazy. And this card does it just excellently. It's become a 2 to 3 of staple in every deck. Everything has this card, or is at the very least citing it. Is there any card on this list that has that honor? Yes, every card on this list is powerful and important to the metagame, but no other card, in my opinion, in 2016 had as huge an impact and affected duelists as much as this card did. Also, let's be real here, it's pretty much the best super rare of the year, too. But what did you think? In the comment section below, tell me if you agreed with this list or not. Or what did you think the best cards of 2016? There was a lot of stuff that maybe I didn't get to. Maybe you think I missed something. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, click to like and click subscribe so we can continue with Top 10 Week.